Hello, and a very warm welcome to all the students from Europe Hotel School. My name is, well, you can think of me as your guide today, an expert in hotel AI. Over the next few minutes, we are going to dive into a really fundamental shift that's happening in hospitality right now. It's something that is absolutely going to shape your careers. We're talking about the big move from getting bogged down in manual tasks to leading with AI-driven strategy.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about a common problem I like to call the manager's time trap. Then we'll explore how automation gives us a massive advantage. After that, we'll get really practical with some real-world examples, see how this all optimizes purchasing, and finally, we'll bring it all together to talk about what this means for you as the next generation of hospitality leaders.
Okay, let's jump right in with the core challenge. This is what I call the manager's time trap. It's this constant hidden battle between what a talented manager should be doing and what they actually spend their days doing. Honestly, it can sideline even the most brilliant leaders.
Just think about it for a second. Everything you're learning right now is preparing you for the high-value work you see on the left, crafting amazing guest experiences, leading and inspiring your teams, and figuring out how to strategically grow the business. But for so many managers out there, the day-to-day reality is what's on the right. They're just buried in manual reports, doing endless inventory counts, and placing the same orders over and over again.
And you know, here's the real kicker. All those tasks, compiling reports, counting stock, they're essential, no doubt about it. You have to do them. But they offer very little strategic value. They basically just keep the lights on, but they don't do much to actually move the business forward in a meaningful way. They drain your time and your focus.
So, the big question is, how do we break out of this trap? Well, this brings us right to the heart of our conversation today, the automation advantage. This is all about making a deliberate shift, moving a manager's time and energy away from monotonous admin and toward true leadership.
So what are we really talking about when we say workflow automation? It's actually pretty simple. It's about using smart AI systems to handle those predictable, repetitive business tasks. Now, the goal here is not to replace managers, not at all. The goal is to unleash them, to free them up to do the work that only humans can do, the high-value work of leading people and making strategic decisions. And I want you to know, this isn't just some futuristic idea being pushed by tech companies. This transformation, this shift, is being actively supported and championed by the most forward-thinking institutions in our industry. Why? Because they know the skill set of a modern leader is evolving, and it's evolving fast.
And this is directly relevant to you. In fact, your very own school, Europe Hotel School London, is already weaving these modern leadership principles right into your education. So everything we're discussing today isn't just theory, it's a direct application of the strategic mindset that you're already developing.
Okay, enough with the high-level talk. Let's make this really tangible. What does AI automation actually look like in the day-to-day operations of, let's say, a busy food and beverage department? Let's look at some examples. First up, daily sales reports. You know, traditionally, a manager has to pull all this raw data from the point-of-sale system into a spreadsheet and then try to figure out what it all means. An AI-powered system does so much more. It doesn't just spit out numbers, it actually creates a story, an analytical narrative that explains the why behind the performance.
So, for instance, instead of you just seeing a spike in beverage revenue and having to guess why, the AI report will literally tell you that the increase is directly tied to that new happy hour promotion you launched last week. That's a real insight, delivered to you instantly. It does the initial analysis for you so you can focus on what to do next.
Okay, let's tackle another classic time sink: inventory and ordering. AI-driven systems take all the heavy lifting and guesswork out of this. They don't just track what you currently have on the shelf. They use data to predict what you're going to need tomorrow, next week, and next month. Now here's basically how it works. The AI is constantly looking at sales velocity, that's how fast you're selling a particular item, and it also knows your supplier's typical delivery times. It checks that against your current inventory levels, and then based on all that information, it suggests the perfect, most optimal order to place. And the result of this? It's immediate and it's powerful. You drastically reduce the chances of running out of a popular dish on a busy Saturday night, and at the same time, you stop tying up your cash in stock that's just sitting there. It's just a smarter, far more efficient way to manage things.
All right, one last, really powerful example for this section, waste tracking. This is a huge one. By comparing what you sold with the ingredients that should have been used for those dishes, AI can instantly spot any differences. It flags potential waste or inefficiency before it ever becomes a major drain on your profits.
The key word here is proactive. You're not waiting until the end of the month to discover a problem. The system sends you an alert in near real time, prompting you to investigate right away. Is it a portioning issue in the kitchen? Is an ingredient spoiling too quickly? You can solve these problems as they happen, which is great for your bottom line and for sustainability.
So let's zoom out a bit now, from those daily tasks to the bigger picture of purchasing strategy. This is where we see this beautiful balance between machine intelligence and human oversight really come to life.
See, a really advanced AI system doesn't just look at your own sales data. It's also looking at a ton of external factors. It's analyzing your suppliers to see who's the most reliable. It's tracking market prices for things like produce or meat to help you find cost savings. And it's using all your past data to forecast future demand with incredible accuracy. And here is the absolute key to making this all work. The system takes all of this complex analysis and generates a suggested purchase order for you. But, and this is crucial, that order goes absolutely nowhere until a manager reviews it and gives it the final approval. So, the AI provides the data-driven recommendation, but the manager always makes the final call. You are still in control.
So, let's bring this all home. What does this shift actually mean for you as you prepare to become the future leaders of our industry? Well, it means the very definition of what makes a great manager is changing right before our eyes.
I really want you to let this quote sink in for a moment, because this is the goal. Your value is no longer in being a human calculator, a data processor. Your real power, your true value, lies in becoming an interpreter of insights, in taking what the AI discovers and using it to drive real, tangible improvements in your operation.
At the end of the day, embracing this technology isn't just about being more efficient. It's about embodying the core principles of modern leadership. It's about leveraging the best tools available so that you can focus on what we humans do best: leading people, creating unforgettable guest experiences, and thinking strategically about the future.
So, I'm going to leave you with one final and I think very important question to think about. As you begin your careers with these incredible tools at your disposal, freeing you from that old administrative time trap, how will you choose to use this advantage? How will you innovate? How will you lead? How will you define the next era of guest experience?
Just thinking about that question is the first step on an incredible journey. The tools are here, the strategy is becoming clearer every day, and you are the generation that is going to master this new way of leading. Thank you so much for your time today. I truly can't wait to see how you all shape the future of our amazing industry.